The reproduction of this content is not allowed without the express written consent of EBH Fitness, LLC.
Anthony Davis out already. Strain. The back is sore.
Yeah, that's from carrying the team for two quarters.
Yeah,
he's not
two quarters. Been off the basketball for 2 years. I'm Dr. C. Victor Herban III, and I'm taking it to the house.
And I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover, and I'm taking it to the house. Y'all, it's been too long since we sat and looked at one another in the eye. Look me in the eye. Yes, I'm that dude. I'm that same dude. I'm going to bring some juice. I'm going to bring some energy. Vic, I got something to say. Let's do it, brother. Let's go.
Hey, let's do it. Hey, look, like any other sports franchise, league, everyone has a season. We talk about that. And look, yours truly, us, we had to have our off season. We had to have it. I mean, we worked all the way through baseball season. That's unprecedented for the last 3 seasons. So I'm sorry, fans. We had to take a knee. We had to go to Cancun. We had to go to Cozumel. We had to do us so we could come back and be us. So now we here 4 weeks into the season of the National Football League. Oh, well, we got stuff to talk about. So, where are we going today? Because like we said years before, I'm running with scissors in my hand and I'm drinking expired milk and the refrigerator door is wide open. Let's get out there. Let's do it.
Well, you mentioned it, man. We're 4 weeks into the NFL season. Last time we talked, we would normally what we do is we set it up. We be like those prognosticators, those talking heads on ESPN, CBS, whatever sports radio or NFL. We didn't get a chance to do that. So now that we're 4 weeks in, we're just going to go with it. Because we've been off, we're just going to rap, brother. We're going to sit around a little fireside chat. We're sitting by the chimney, the fireplace. We're going to talk. We're in the barbershop right now. We're just going to talk. So that now that the NFL season has started, talking about hype, talking about excited, my fantasy leagues, talking about my players, man, cool, great. So Lamar Jackson, I want to start in your backyard. The way he started out this season, I'm talking about just fantasy points, what he's doing as far as running, passing, leading his team, the AFC North, what he's trying to do. And yet, the Baltimore Ravens still find a way to lose 2-2, right? And so I'm expecting them to be a little bit better than the record indicates. As a matter of fact, I think they're playing better than the record indicates. But something is wrong with that defense. He's putting up points. He's throwing the balls. We're getting TDs, but they can't stop nobody. So what's going on with my Baltimore Ravens? Because I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. I would love to start there, but I got so many other surprises. Las Vegas Raiders. Bruh, are they going to ever show up? Finally, they'll show up. Your Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. Finally, I mean, Denver with your boy Russell. What? I expected them to be so much better, and I'm going to stay here just for a minute. Aaron Rodgers was talking about going to Denver. Why? Because they were ready-made. They just needed a quarterback. They were ready to go. Everybody was in place, skilled positions. They just needed a leader, that being a quarterback. So maybe they sold their soul to Seattle to get Russell. But something is wrong. Something's amiss up there in Denver. Uh-oh. You mean to tell me they get a new coach too? Rookie coach? I'm talking about first-time NFL coach. don't know how to manage the game, don't know how to manage the sideline, can't manage minutes. That's part of the problem. Not let alone that Russell comes on over. You got a new coordinator, new language, and you got to really just learn how to be able to talk and make things and be efficient. Russell doesn't look like Russell. In Seattle, Russell wanted to cook. He's not cooking right now. Matter of fact, I don't think he has a 250-yard a game yet. So, bruh, what's going on in Denver? I know I'm all over the map. I talked about Arizona. I talked about Baltimore. But those are just a few of the surprises. And lastly, before I toss it to you, look at them Bills. Man, if this were preseason, I was going to tell you, I thought the Bills were going to go all the way. I thought they were that strong. It doesn't look good to make that prediction now because of how good they are. And that loss in Miami, I believe they should have won that game. 90 offensive plays and still lose. Come down to the last possession and you can't manage the clock or the clock runs out on you. So, wow. Bills, I see. Yes, I love Baltimore. I love Lamar, but out of the AFC, I just feel like they're just too strong. That's a prediction for you. But look at Kansas City. Look what Kansas City's doing in the AFC. And my NFC representative, I'm going to say it now. Nobody else is saying it. I'm saying the 49ers, man. I'm saying the 49ers. But, bro, we're going to banter back and forth. We're going to chop it up. It's just those are the things that are hot, that are on my mind. I wanted to bring it while I had the time. What say you over there?
Bro, I feel like I'm in Super Walmart, Sam's Club. It's on bulk and it's on sale, bro. You do so much out there. I just want to chew on every little nugget you gave me, and I don't know where I'm gonna start, dog. And that's only the NFL. You didn't even hit the fact that Aaron Judge, the new home run king. I mean, he breaks
Yes.
Roger Maris's record, dog. Albert Pujols. I mean, we can talk a little baseball here. I mean, there's so much that has happened since we've last spoken. Our Dodgers kicking tail, 100+ games won, and still could do more damage. I mean, like you said, I don't know where to start. But I will start somewhere because you went into my backyard. I will dig up them bones that I'm trying to bury and say, I don't know what's happening, bro. First for Lamar to say, I am going to bet on self, and he's done that. And in 4 weeks, he said, oh, if y'all don't pay me, y'all going to have to empty out the banks because he has been putting on an MVP caliber types of games. Sure, he had the one off last week where he passed for less than 100 or 200 yards, but it's very nasty conditions. Should have been a run heavy game already. He, unlike his doubters years ago, he's showing you I could throw the ball. I could imagine for many fantasy players, they're concerned that he's not running enough, but he's beating people from the pocket because they doubted his skills 3 years ago when he came into the league. He could pass and he could run, and it's great that he's morphing into that combined attack because he already knows shelf life of a running back, a running quarterback is pretty limited. Ask Cam Newton. So for him to show that I'm versatile and when Father Time catches up to me, I can still be deadly from the pocket. I remember the Steve Young where he was dangerous out of the pocket, but he's also dangerous in the pocket. And as time came on, Steve he may get out there do a little something every now and then, but he was deadly in the pocket. And so watching what he's been able to do and put our team in position to win every week, they easily could be 4-0. You cannot tell me you lose against Miami and making Miami's fool's gold, making Miami look like that they're this beast in the East. You give up 21 points in the fourth quarter. And then last week against the Bills didn't win that game. The Baltimore's lost that game. 17 points in the second half, and you don't do anything else. So Lamar has put the team in position, and yes, so Lamar did not win the game last week, but it's not on his shoulders. I'm on the edge right here when it comes down to that last play in Baltimore. Do you put your team in position where you kick the field goal, and now you give Josh Allen, an 80-yard drive, or do you say, I'm gonna play for the tie, I'm gonna play for the win. If we don't win, I'll make this touchdown. My team, my defense will have 99 yards to defend. There's no way. So I can understand why he would go for it because you're saying we're either going to get the get a touchdown, not a pick. So if anything, Lamar should have thrown the ball away. So then the ball would have been down on like the 1 or 2 yard line. And now you put Josh Allen in position with about 3 minutes left to drive the length of the field, or he had to get into field goal position. So I understand why Joe Harbaugh would have done that, and then also maybe he just didn't trust the defense. We had one of the most expensive defenses in the league. The secondary, on top of that, is the most expensive, but getting torched, getting lit up worse than Christmas tree. So I don't understand, and it's very disappointing. Here in the DMV, people are really hot regarding the defense because the Ravens have always been known for a great defense. So now again, Lamar is putting himself in a position where I am your future. Defense is doing hot mess stuff. So if you want us to win, I have to now score more points than the opposition. Since when was that ever our philosophy in Baltimore? Ray Lewis said one time, all we need is 17 points. Offense, give us 17 points, we'll take care of the rest. That was how much confidence we had in our defense and how much our defense led the team. So you can have second tier quarterbacks. All they had to do was manage. And at that time, the best quarterback we had off of a trade was Steve McNair. Until that point, we was always a defense heavy team. So to be in a position where we have an offensive juggernaut, a quarterback that can do all great things, and we're reintegrating J.K. Dobbins, you would think we should be easily a 4-0 team. But hey, it's a long season.
Should be.
And because we have shown what we can do, once the defense catches up, and as we've seen in years past, defense in any of these teams, the defense in the NFL is always because so many changes happen on offense and defensive strategies, and they have to catch up. And in a couple of weeks, I can imagine this the Baltimore team we know from a defensive standpoint should show up. But that right there, the last couple of weeks, a hot mess. And because of that, I will not automatically give the Bills the championship. I would not give them automatically the AFC crown yet because there has been kinks in the armor. They still got to play Miami again. Yes, they clock management, what have you, but Miami had them on their heels, and Baltimore had them on their heels. Had Baltimore win that game, Buffalo's 2-2 with no explanation. They still were down by 17 points up until the last 2 minutes of the first half. So they look good on paper, and Josh Allen's a bad boy, him and Diggs. But I'm not sure if I'm ready to crown them just yet because there's still a guy named Patrick Mahomes that has something for everybody, and the championship, the AFC championship, has to go through Pat. Has to go through him. And we already see Cleveland, Cincinnati's not ready for that. Burrow, I don't know what happened to them. I think they're still having that Super Bowl hangover or whatever it was. They're not even a team to be even recognizable. So that's the AFC side. I mean, like you said, there's so much meat on this bone. If I had to start saying what's the teams in 4 weeks into the season, what are the strong teams? Definitely, I will consider Buffalo as a strong team. I will still give Buffalo a strong team. I don't know if Miami is who we think they are. To your point, AFC West, we expected that to be the most competitive division, and that is a horrible watch. Right now, I would only give that to again Kansas City, and then the AFC South, Jacksonville Jaguars are a surprise. I don't know if Indianapolis are they who we want them to be. I don't know who they are. And in the East, in the NFC, Eagles look great. Very surprised in Dallas. Doing this without Dak Prescott. So does that say something about Dak? Does that say something about Mike McCarthy? Or is that really about Cooper Rush? But I do like Philly. I like what Jalen Hurts has been able to do. Obviously, Green Bay and NFC North. I'm not going to count against Tom Brady despite what's happened in his personal life. So I give the NFC South to Tampa Bay and the NFC West. Man, oh man, oh man. The Niners said, don't forget about us. And Jimmy G, what great swan song would it be to say, give me my 1 year contract. I'm gonna show the league I still got it in me. I'm gonna lead us to the Super Bowl. Then I'm then I'm gonna go find me another team to get on. So there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Yes, yeah. I love what you've done, and you've given me some more things to think about. So let's take it away from the football field, but stay in the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa. We gotta touch on the concussion. The whole. Let's go back 2 games when he got hit in the Bills game, and his head hits the ground. I definitely want to hear your opinion on that, where he was able to come back into the game, his story. And for those who don't know, and it's all over the sports world. Matter of fact, it's on ABC, Good Morning America. So it's leading not just in the NFL circles or sports circles, but just the whole fallout from not that game, but the second game when he was able to come back. So let's set it up. 2 weeks ago, Tua gets pushed, head hits the ground, and clearly he's shook. He is shook. He's shaking his head, trying to get the cobwebs out. He even staggers, gets support to stay standing, goes down to a knee. Clearly, something is wrong. After the game, well, they took him out of the game. He comes back into the game and finishes the game. That's pretty cool. And so most of us are thinking, okay, it looked like he got his bell rung, able to get back into the game. He cleared whatever protocol or whatever's on the sideline, comes back into the game. So that was a precursor to the following week, which is this this past week, or the week after the next game. The next game, he gets hit again, clearly concussed. Head hits the ground again. So they took him out of the game that time, and he doesn't come back. So I want to touch on 2 things, because you made me think about Miami is not who they think they are. As long as Tua's out, they will not. Teddy Bridgewater will not be able to take them to the promised land. That's number 1. The Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, he gave them hope with your boy Waddle down there. So all the quarterback had to do, whether it's Tua or Bridgewater, get it to their playmakers, and they were making plays. But I started this segment off talking about Tua. Let's talk about the concussion protocol. Let's talk about him. 1 game leading to the next game and concussions. And I wanted to hear your opinion, sir, on that whole and fallout, if you will.
I don't know how he even made it back into the game when he's wobbling. I mean, we know what we saw on the Thursday night game, which was scary because he seized up. So did we need to see that part? What's worse, watching him seize up with his fingers, or the fact that only 4 days earlier he couldn't even stand up? So I've heard the defense of, well, we have an independent neuro consultant. Okay, but so now he's the fall guy. He got fired. There's no way, based off what we understand, what we've come to understand about the concussion protocol, after that first game, there's no way he should have came back in for 3 or 4 plays later. No way.
Yeah.
I don't, and I would love to see the report. I would love to see the true dialogue that occurred when they brought him back to the sideline, how the whole team, I'm talking about leadership, head coaches, GMs, those in the booth, watch him walk off the field. What happens when they go behind the tent and have the discussion and say, all right, are you ready to go? First things first, you and I are both athletes. We already know he wants to play. I don't care how bad my bell was rung. As long as you can talk to me and I can answer the question, are you hurting? No. How many times do we see boxers get knocked out, stand up, still say, no, I'm ready to go? Bruh, we've already counted the 10. You're done. Who protects him from himself? That's the thing. You can't expect Tua to say, yeah, I think I'm concussed and I probably need to sit this one out. He's not going to say that. He's talking about his job security. People doubted him as a quarterback in the league coming into the season. They wondered, would he even be the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. So he already has a lot of pressure on himself to perform and be ready for each game, or next man up, the best ability is availability, and then he's done. So he already knows he's on a short leash. So why would they expect him to be honest and say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I staggered because my head, I don't even know my name right now. Of course.
Right.
So who protects him from himself? But you have so many people on the payroll that trying to sell tickets. And don't forget, we're talking about the Miami Dolphins, the same Miami Dolphins that fired Brian Flores, the same Miami Dolphins who had the owner Steve Ross that wanted to throw games. So are we really thinking they're the model ethical franchise here? Really?
Right.
So why would we think any different when he goes to the sidelines and they say, "You're good to play, right?" And he says, "Oh, I'm good." Yes, they go out there to play, he sells it, they win, great. But then for 4 days later, he goes out there and it took one hit to really put a black eye on the National Football League in the promotion of a safe environment, as we still have little kids that wants to play football, and the casual fan who watches that to say that was scary. And then it's just interesting to see even the news clips the last couple of days. Well, he's not available for week 5. You think? I don't think he'll be back until week 7, because they got to be so much oversight now for him in particular before he gets back on the field. So for a player that was concerned or may have had the concern, do I have job security? Now he'll probably miss 6 weeks from a concussion, because the NFL has to be extra safe to paint the picture that we did everything possible to make sure we protected this young man. That was scary. It was sloppy. Who's going to be the fall guy? They found the independent neurologist to be the fall guy, but that goes way up. The quote,
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men: "I'm the one that ordered the code red." Who ordered the code red? Someone within the Miami Dolphins franchise is behind that. Someone behind Roger Goodell and the NFL is behind that. And we will never find out. But it's really upsetting. It's really disappointing, because that is still someone's son that could have lost their life on that doggone field that night.
Yeah. I want to echo your sentiments, but I'll say it in this way. The concussion protocol, based on this small sample size, is laughable. Okay. It can't be taken serious. When somebody's son, potential father, potential death are at risk here. So you can't do that. You can't have that. No, the science doctor, he should not be solely responsible. Somebody has to be the adult in the room, somebody with authority. Somebody has to say, no, no, and no, he can't go. It starts with ownership, leadership, coach. It's not everybody else. No, the decision maker, the who has the responsibility, accountability. Those people. So with no teeth in this protocol, whatever it is, and I don't understand it, don't see it, especially when he's able to go back a couple plays later in game 1, and then you're talking about him seizing up in 4 days later. Somebody has to be accountable. I would like to see that the NFL says, okay, you didn't follow protocol, or you didn't follow common sense. You didn't protect the player, and it should cost them. I don't know. Maybe there is not written in black and white, but how about the eye test? The eye test says he's not stable. The eye test says, heck, I know where I live. I know my name. I know where I'm at. I know the date, and I know the president. I can answer all those questions, but dog, you can't walk straight. You can't even manage your own self. So don't go back in, take his helmet, sit down. No, Miami, you should be fine. Maybe draft choices. I'm talking about putting some teeth in this doggone thing. You got to protect the players, and it should be at a cost that you didn't. Because, Vic, to your point, man, I'm going to play. Man, I don't care if I busted a nut, so it crawls up into my belly and I got my belt wrong. And man, I'm still going to play because that's how I'm conditioned. I'm conditioned to get right back up, find the huddle, shake it off, and go back in. That's how I'm conditioned. I'm trained that way. I need somebody else to tell me, no, partner. Yes, no, you're going to sit down and sit with me a while. Let's talk. Let's tell a bedtime story, okay? Let's talk about what's happening, what's going on in the game, but you're not going to be participating in it. So, Roger Goodell, ownership up there, and the coach, you're all culpable. You guys are responsible. It's not that neurosurgeon or that consultant. It's not him. And that was too easy. So, that's where I stand. Let me see some teeth in this program. Let me see some teeth in this protocol, concussion protocol that means something. Player safety. What does it mean when Susie Baker over here is not that sports fan, but sees a player seize up like that? She's got to say, what is this? Is this CMA or this is what are we what is going on out there? Is this arena football? Is this no? This is we are better than this NFL. So please protect the players. I love the entertainment. I love a good hit like the next man, but I don't want to see that on any given Sunday. I don't want to see somebody seize up, nor do I want to see loss of life. It's already hard enough, bad on joints, bad on careers, endings, joint mobility, arthritis later on, dizziness, headaches, and people wanting to kill themselves, suicidal ideations, those kinds of things. It's already bad enough. Please help these players. And then don't forget the fan to be able to witness that. That's my take on that, sir.
To add on that, how the NFL talks about integrity of the game to the point you talk about putting teeth. How about this to draw a comparison? Tom Brady and Deflategate. NFL was so adamant in investigating a ball that lost 0.12 psi to think that it gave competitive advantage to Tom Brady, that they suspended him for a few games and they fined the New England Patriots and it took draft picks. That's how big they felt he questioned he impacted the integrity of the game. Mm-hmm. But we have a young man that could have lost his life because someone wanted to take shortcuts to make sure he got back on the field, to make sure they had a competitive advantage. And he just lost his job. And he's not even an NFL employee. He was an independent contractor. So you're right. NFL, put some teeth into this. This is a leadership issue. That's all it is. It's a leadership issue. Screw the optics. Screw hold people accountable. Show the players that you do care about them more than their money. The Shield will always speak volumes. We already know America revolves around the Shield. But you can easily lose the fans when we don't put player safety somewhere of a priority. Because now you need the players to say, I'm not playing this week. I don't feel that you believe in us or you care about us. And nothing stops them from saying, we're going to take a knee on this issue because my life, my livelihood after football is over is at risk. So,
Good
I'd really be interested how they evolve this story and how they hold people accountable. The only time will tell.
And I believe more to come because we got lawmakers that are involved. We got a lot of people looking at the NFL right now because of this Tua fallout and incident. And first of all, I just want to say, Tua, I'm praying for you. Golly, with the concussion, you're more prone and susceptible to further concussion. So please don't be in a hurry. Your life and livelihood, it's not worth it, sir. You have more talents in a football or being a football quarterback or a football player. You have more to offer than just that. So I'm more concerned about you, the man. okay, and your health. So please, 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 and you Miami Dolphins, that organization, please take your time. Don't be in a hurry to get him back. Well, I knew this was going to be more NFL centric because we're 4 games in. We got the NBA around the corner. Preseason is around the corner. We got our Lakers didn't get rid of Westbrook, believe it or not. There may be something in the works, behind the scenes stuff going on, but they still pretty much are intact with their core. But in the green room, you're talking about Anthony Davis is already hurt. What? We haven't played a game yet. It's preseason. What? Already hurt. The one game that I did see, he was looking good. And they were really focusing on him and using him as a central point to run their offense through. But Lord, I would have gotten rid of Westbrook. There's talk that he's going to Indiana, where we can get your boy, golly, I'm forgetting his name. Turner is one, and
Buddy
the sharpshooter sniper. There you go, Buddy Hield. So I would have done that yesterday. Okay. Having said that, they haven't done that. As currently constructed, we're in trouble. We're talking about trying to make the top 8, the top 6, excuse me, so we don't get into the play-in game. We're in trouble. Anthony Davis, he's not going to play 50 games. LeBron's going to sit out probably 20. Westbrook still doesn't play defense. Can he make an outside shot? He was missing layups. So all those problems we brought on these airways, on this platform before, I don't know that they're changed. Oh, what has happened? We got a new coach. Okay. Darvingham, I like you. Name, your reputation precedes you. So you're really going to have to step up, and you're going to have to make them listen to you. How do you make a 20-year veteran almost in LeBron listen to you? How are you going to make a future Hall of Famer in LeBron, Westbrook, and potentially Anthony Davis listen to you? Boy, you got your hands full. Vic, I don't see the playoffs for the Lakers as currently constructed. Too much has to happen, and the NBA, especially the Western Conference, man, is so loaded. I can go down this whole arm and talk about everybody that is ahead of them just from last year alone, let alone anybody improving. So give me on the Lakers. What do you see? What's going on? What are your thoughts?
Man, I want, maybe I'm caught in the moment. Maybe I have not moved and realized it is 2022, not 2013. I don't want Westbrook to leave yet. I really want Darvingham to have this chance to do what he can do. Like, it hurts me to hear you say, like, bruh, you really don't feel like we're like top 6, like a healthy, reinvigorated. I don't believe how we got embarrassed like that last season. We had a lot of injuries. Our coaching, we try to integrate Westbrook. Like, you're really like, this is the worst thing ever. This is, yes. I do.
I'm not saying that.
I'm probably talking it into existence, but I really believe that they can at least get to the top 6. I do look at the higher teams. Okay, Golden State. I don't know where Phoenix is going to be, but they should be in the top 3.
2.
Clippers should be up
3.
there with Kawhi and PG coming back, and a Ty Lue.
Yes.
You look at Dallas should be something in there because not Nowitzki, your boy. Utah's done. Denver, because you should have a
5.
healthy Jamal Murray and the Joker.
Yes.
San Antonio's not there anymore, not yet. I mean, I could, pop.
You haven't mentioned Memphis.
Oh, Memphis! Woo! Memphis should be up there.
Pelicans.
New Orleans. Look, New Orleans.
Yes.
All right.
You haven't mentioned Lakers yet.
I was just saying, and the Lakers should be in that. But you are right. And I may be looking at names and not talent. And because I know what they can be as opposed to what they are. And I may be caught in the prison of the moment. But yes, we just named off 8. And again, it's probably easy to say who won't be there. Sacramento won't be there. Portland won't be there. Utah won't be there. Those are the 4 teams that won't be there. But yeah, I
San
mean,
Antonio.
man, in San Antonio, so that's the 5. So
Yeah.
it's I would really, and see, now I don't want to feel like I'm begging the Lakers to be there, but yes, they're not the top 3 team. There's no way they're top 3 team in the West. However, I don't want to say that it's all Westbrook, and the reason why we're going to be
No.
not a
Yes.
strong
Yeah.
enough team to compete is because of Westbrook.
Yeah. And in our list, we failed to mention the NBA winner last year, Golden State. We didn't even mention Golden State. So the list again is very, very, very long. So I'm not a Debbie Downer, and I'm not trying to piss on your parade, and I'm going to let you talk it into existence because I'm supporting you talking it into existence. I'm a dreamer also, but there's a lot that has to happen to make that dream come true. All right. So right now, we're not going to call it a dream. Let's call it a fantasy. And you and I are fantasizing about what they can become. But in the 1 year that we had this composition of a team, look what they did, and even got a chance to get into the play-in game and failed that too. So, bro, how bad were we? We were bad. We stunk. And these other teams that we mentioned ahead of them were very good to get a championship out of the Western Conference. So you're right. Westbrook is not the sole problem, but I need more from him. And so LeBron, AD, let's talk about the three-headed monster of the Lakers. They never did mesh. They never really played a whole lot of games together. So how about we start there? Well, how does that happen? How do you become a future Hall of Famer and can't play the game together? Well, it's ego. You become so in your role and so defiant that you forget to acquiesce to the next man. How about just make the right basketball play? Do what's right for the team. And you can't, because you don't have a shot blocker or a rim protector back there. Where is he? Oh, he's in street clothes. Street clothes Davis. You need to play defense. Westbrook, you got to play defense. LeBron plays it occasionally, but I don't want LeBron. We don't need LeBron. This is not 20-year-old LeBron. This is almost 40-year-old LeBron. He should not be leading our team. He should be a great a 1B, a great complementary piece to somebody. And even if that somebody is by committee, but somebody else needs to show up. And who is that somebody? So we can't count on Westbrook based on last year. You can't count on Westbrook. You can't count on Anthony Davis. Then, bro, where are we? And so that's not the fantasy. That's reality. That's where we are today. And I don't want to poo-poo again on your parade, but we need a lot to break in our favor. Golden States, the Memphis, the Clippers, Kawhi. He's not going to play a full 82-game season. We know that. But they play for Ty Lue. Okay. Golden State, their system with Kerr is in place. Memphis is still up and coming. The Suns, they got some problems in the Suns with DeAndre and their coach, Monty Williams. And so
Monty Williams.
Yeah, so Denver is. I don't expect your boy, all of them to play their full 82-game season, but they still got the Joker, who's still tough, and he's an MVP,
reigning MVP,
2 times. Yeah. So, the Lakers got a lot of work ahead of them, sir.
So, what do you need to see from the Lakers in this first 2 to 3 months between the season starts in a week and a half, between now and December before the Christmas Classic? What is it you need to see from the Lakers for you to feel confident that they are who we think they are?
Well, they can't play on athleticism alone, so they're having to use the mental aspect. And they're not as athletic as some of these other teams we're talking about who are a lot younger. So they're going to have to knock down their shots. They're going to have to gang rebound. They're going to have to do those things because they don't have the big man anymore. So I need to just, if they can play team ball and give me a little defense. When they won the championship a couple years ago, it was their defense. They had the number one defense. So it wasn't like they were outscoring anybody. They were just Caruso, KCP. And so we had the perimeter defense, and so we were able to lock up on the perimeter, and we had enough defense at the perimeter. AD was blocking shots, bro. He was in the game, so he was there. And so if you give me defense, almost keep up with everybody on offense, and make the basketball play. LeBron, make the basketball play. Westbrook, make the right basketball play. So we got a little bit of defense when we got Patrick Beverley. So we answered that question. But I just need everybody else. You talk about availability. I need them to be available. If we can be healthy, acquiesce, make the right basketball play defense. Okay, we need to be top 10 defense in the league. That gives us a shot. But we don't have that sniper three still. So we're taking a lot of chances on the 3-point. It's a 3-point league now. And so having said that, we got to play defense. We got to limit the other team's 3-point percentages or lower that to give us a chance. So it's defense, and play team ball. Those two things in particular.
So do you need to see the record by December show something? Is it it's the eyeball test? I guess for me, I want to make sure we're beating the teams we're supposed to beat. That was probably the thing that irked me the most last season. Games like Sacramento, since when does Sacramento beat us up 3 out of 4 games?
Right.
When does Minnesota Timberwolves, there's games we're supposed to show up to. And I think for me to say, all right, we at least have a competitive team, I like to see a couple 5 to 7 game win streaks. I would like us to beat the teams we're supposed to beat, the teams that.
But you tell me,
top of the
when
class
you say
in the
that,
West.
when you say that, the teams we're supposed to beat, nobody fears us. What? So who are those teams we're supposed to beat? Nobody fears us. Everybody feels as though they're going to beat us. We used to be able to walk onto the floor and automatically, you remember the Kobe years and Shaq years and even Kobe and Powell and Odom? Man, they used to say, we're in for one tonight. LeBron, when they won the championship, okay, it was a bubble, yes. But they knew they were going to be in for a competitive match. People don't fear us anymore. So what does it mean for us when you say the teams we're supposed to beat? Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the San Antonios, the Portlands? Are we talking about the Sacramento?
I guess you're right.
Okay.
If we say there's 12 teams and if we're number 8, I guess the teams are supposed to beat those other 4 that's below us. So to your point, if we are who we are, then it's like, all right, yeah, you're gonna play those teams 4 times a year. That's your 16 wins. And in the East, you're gonna play the bottom barrels over there. But you're right. I hear what you're saying, and that's probably me caught as a prisoner in the moment. It's me caught into who the hell are Minnesota Timberwolves? Well, they made to the championship. They made to the playoffs last year, and so it's no longer the 90s version of the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, all these teams that we used to be doormats. No, these teams are the Mavericks. These teams are those teams based off of last year's performance. We are looking up at them. We have been on the outside looking in. And so you're right. It's no longer a matter of the teams are supposed to beat. We need to go up there and just beat teams. So maybe that's what I need for me to say we're real is you don't take nights off. You come out there and you put your foot on their neck and let them remember who the hell you are. We are the doggone Los Angeles Lakers, the winningest franchise in the NBA. Remember that. And no one fears us anymore because they don't remember who you are. So from an organizational identity perspective, step on the court and let your play speak for itself. So maybe that's what I need to see. No more taking nights off. When you play Golden State, you play them like it is the seventh game of the Western Conference Finals and bust their head wide open. I don't care if it's the fourth game of the season. So maybe that's what I need to see is the intensity. I need to see a competitive game because with the game of last year reminded me of those last few years of Kobe's years. It's like, oh, I'm not watching this. I'm on the Eastern Standard time zone. I'm not watching this game. And I was the one that was this. Okay, you know what? Wait till All-Star break. They're gonna hit the switch, and then it's like, well, maybe late March, and then it's like, you know what? Dang, we were that team. So hopefully, that's probably what I need to see is beat teams, have a couple good winning streaks. I'm hoping Darvin Ham, but he's not proven. He's not proven. And the LA market will eat him alive if he's not ready. So it will be a season to watch. And if it doesn't happen this year, then I would not be surprised if they try to orchestrate a mid-season trade to get Westbrook out of there to try to free up some of that cap space to bring more players in. But you're right. It's going to be a very interesting season.
I'm with you. If we are consistent, competitively consistent, give us a fighting chance to win the games that we're not supposed to win. That would be significant. You know, the top 8-9 teams that are ahead of us based on last year's ranking. So that would be key. Bro, we're going to wrap it up, man. We're 45 minutes in. We're 45 minutes deep, and we left some on the editor's table. We can see some on the editing floor of things that we could talk about. We can go on and on to the break of dawn, but we're not going to. My last take is, man, I have missed you, Vic. Steve, our producer, I have missed you. This has been exciting. This has been fun. And we really could go on and on. You mentioned Aaron Judge. We got baseball. We got the Dodgers going on, about to go into the postseason. Albert Pujols. All cool. Having said that, this is a sports venue. We talk sports, but I want to talk about life. My sister and others who may have the scare of cancer. So I just want, and we have talked about it on here, please get your screenings. Please follow your doctor's orders. Get your second opinions if you need it. Interventions do matter. The number one intervention is prayer, okay? Spiritual intervention. So we need to support one another as our family members and those that we know are going through this. It's scary. It's hard. But let's do all that we can. And for us men, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, those things are on the rise. And let's not let it be ignorance. Please go get checked. To my sister, Dean, I love you. And I would dedicate this show to you. And that's my last take, and I'm out.
To build upon that, it is a fact. 1 October started Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it ends on 31 October, my birthday. This is what we do. This is what we do. We talked about the Lakers having tenacity. We talked about the Lakers being intense. We talked about Baltimore Ravens and what the NFL could have done from a leadership perspective to protect Tua. Hey, this is what we can do as a country. This is what we can do in this world to bring about awareness to this despicable disease called cancer. Support, donate. There are many walks happening this month of October to combat the cancer, and particularly breast cancer. And please participate, donate, find those local marches, and wear your pink. There are many people. If you're not a person that's been impacted directly, you know somebody who knows somebody. That's how rampant cancer is in this world. But again, it's a special call to arms and battle that's personal to me, as Unc shared. And so again, this is that month where us as leaders of our own communities, us as leaders in our families, and lead the way in supporting National Breast Cancer Awareness Month and do something about it. Research doesn't fund its own, and it takes us as people to bring that awareness, us as people donating money to have the technological resources to fight this disease. And on that note, I say I'm out. It's been great. You all take care. Hit us up on all our social media platforms because your boys are back in town. If we could play that song, we would. We're back, we're ready, we're refreshed, and we're bringing the heat. Take care. Love you all. See you all next week.